They want to rip off that lifter. They want to rip the lifting arm off. They want to rip it clean off. Disc-O-Inferno comes into another big ram, does Roadkill, and another big slam. Under the pulverizers again. It's the penultimate episode of Maximum Overdrive 3, and what better way to end off the fight card episodes than with a bang. We have 5 big matches for you tonight, headlined by our main event, the last Ultimate Challenge Championship title defense of the series, as Roadkill 2, we putting the championship on the line against Disc-O-Inferno. This is Disco's first shot at the Undisputed Ultimate Challenge Championship. Can they win the title in their first time of asking? It's a true styles clash of destructive power versus pushing power. It's gonna be one right old royal ding-dong. We have a big supercard before our main event though, and we're gonna be kicking off the action with the grand final of the New Blood Championship. I said at the start of the series, the winner of this tournament will not only get automatic qualification into Series 5, but they'll go in as a seeded machine. So it really is huge for the two machines, the rising stars of Bubblegum Crisis and the FMRW veterans, Robo Harvester. The house robots for this week is Virus and Crimson, so let's not delay and let's go into Overdrive. Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate. Oh yes, the New Blood Championship finals off and underway, and of course the winners of this will of course go through to the Champion of Champions as well, which will be next week as well. Like I said, you really want to stay tuned for the Champion of Champions. We've seen some of these machines this episode, in that episode, and already Robo Harvester throwing Bubblegum Crisis across the arena there. Bubblegum Crisis trying to come in for that front hinge flipper. And now Robo Harvester trying to come in. I think those wrist spikes could prove to be a bit of an issue here for Bubblegum Crisis. They could get caught by those rotary blades. Of course, Robo Harvester trying to come in at the side of Bubblegum Crisis, trying to throw them what they did earlier. Bubblegum Crisis, BGC, Crisis, Crash. Well, no, Bubblegum Crash is something else. Oh, well, it definitely isn't Tokyo 2040. I'll definitely say that. And now Bubblegum Crisis trying to get in underneath Robo Harvester again. And now they're trying to lift up Robo Harvester managing to stay in, and now they stay in very well then. They stay in very well, and that was a big hit there. Bubblegum Crisis though, for every hit Robo Harvester gets, Bubblegum Crisis slams Robo Harvester back, and now Virus is coming in for a good suplex onto Robo Harvester. That won't affect them too much though. Robo Harvester, look at Robo Harvester. Is it controlled? I really don't think it is. But Bubblegum Crisis most definitely is. Trying to control Robo Harvester, trying to maybe get them up and out of the arena here. And look at this, they're very nearly getting Robo Harvester out, and they've done it! Bubblegum Crisis does it. They saw the opportunity count. They knew they had to beat a dangerous machine like Robo Harvester as quickly as possible, or else they could have been sent out the arena. And that's what they've done. They flipped Robo Harvester out the arena. Cease. And they are our New Blood champions. Robo Harvester has been running rampage throughout this entire New Blood tournament, but they are finally stopped by the front hinge flipper of Bubblegum Crisis, who sends Robo Harvester out of the arena. Congratulations to Bubblegum Crisis, they get the win, and we'll be seeing them in Series 5. Let's not stop the action though, as we're having a destruction melee next. 4 of the most destructive machines will be going at it. Apex, Cyber Spinner, Stinger, and Iron Brute 2. These 4 machines want to prove themselves as the most destructive machine to ever grace the Robot Wars Omega Warzone. Who will come out on top? Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate. Oh boy, this can only end horribly or horribly beautiful. And well, look at this already. I think Cyber Spinner, we saw them in the 10-minute rumble. They weren't spinning too much either in that. Apex trying to come in that big spinning bar. Iron Brute revving up there. Full body spinner. Stinger spinning up to speed. Cyber Spinner. I think Cyber Spinner has lost their Shremek at the hands of Apex. Apex hopping and bouncing. And I think they have completely ripped the Shremek off. The Shremek and Cyber Spinner is completely gone. Isn't that great? And now Stinger trying to come into the action. Cyber Spinner. These lovely Apex and Stinger haven't really done too great in Maximum Overdrive, you know. They both lost in the mayhem. Of course, Stinger had further humiliation at the hands of the House Robots, but they've all been very, very impressive nonetheless, you know. Even in defeat, a destructive machine can look scary. Virus and Stinger, you know, they've got a history of their own, don't they? Stinger trying to whack that pendulum down. Cyber Spinner, their stream is completely gone. And now they're causing some damage. I think that's a bit of revenge to Apex. Iron Brute probably staying out of this the most. Apex, I think they've suffered quite a bit of damage, quite a lot of damage. And the spinner is gone. The spinners came off. We thought that would happen. Iron Brute hopping and bouncing about. Very uncontrollable, all these machines are. We're not going to expect technical driving in this match like we did in the New Bloods of Bubblegum Crisis. Cyber Spinner gets too damn close to Crimson, and they've been flipped up and over. Apex are definitely immobilized, so it is down to these last two, Stinger and Iron Brute. Iron Brute causing all the damage here, but I think their uncontrollability has steered themselves too close to to Virus. Iron Brute rubbing up that Spinner. Stinger comes in for a hit. I think Virus are going to get rid of Cyber Spinner. Their Streamac, they think they need a new Streamac. It's seen better days, dumped out the arena, and I think Apex is soon to follow. Yeah, Crimson. No, there's nothing left of it when it doesn't have the spinner, you know. It's all bark, and it has quite a lot of bite as well, to be fair. I'm kind of scared of the machine. Again, Stinger whacks Iron Brute into the CPZs with Virus, though. Virus lifting up Iron Brute. And I think this shows that Stinger are probably going to get their first win in Maximum Overdrive, and probably the only win. They aren't going to be in the Champion of Champions. None of these machines sadly will be, so that's why they're going at it one more time this series, just causing the most amount of mayhem and destruction as they can. Stinger comes in for another hit. Iron Brute revving up their blade. Apex are in the bloody way. Get out! Yes, Crimson just launched them out. Oh, great stuff. Stinger now bumping Iron Brute into Crimson. Iron Brute is very destructive, but too uncontrollable for my liking. Stinger, they do have some control. It is going to go to the judges. Cease. And, well, a very calm end to what was a very chaotic battle. And the judges have made their decision. You know the criteria: damage, control, and aggression. And it didn't take too long for them to decide. As a result of Iron Brute just straying too close to CPZs one too many times, they've given the win to Stinger. Stinger wins the Destruction Melee, an absolutely brutal and frantic fight. Stinger can end Maximum Overdrive on a high, as they'll be leaving the arena as the most destructive robot. Congratulations to them. And from a Destruction Melee to a machine looking to prove themselves, Corrosive 3 has challenged former Ultimate Challenge champions and current Seed 3 Dantom Kia to a one-on-one. Dantom Kia has had a bit of a bad patch since losing the Ultimate Challenge Championship way back in November, whereas Corrosive 3 has been one of the quickest rising stars ever since making their return earlier this series. Will Dantom Kia slip further down the card, or will they win the challenge Corrosive has set for them? Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate. I would argue Dantom Kia is probably the most successful non-4 pillars machine in Robot Wars Omega, but they have been slipping down the cards as of late. Corrosive 3 has been on the rise here, and they may want to take advantage of Dantom Kia's bad run here. Dantom Kia has won many accolades, a Robot Rumble winner, also won the Champion of Champions. They'll have to defend their Champion of Championships next week, actually, as they will be in that tournament. Corrosive 3 won't be. This is the last time we've seen Corrosive this series. Dantom Kia gets flipped into Virus, and again, but Dantom Kia managing to escape, and a big flip there by Corrosive 3. And Virus lifting up Dantom Kia. Dantom Kia able to land back on their feet, but now Corrosive upended on their back. Dantom Kia flips up Corrosive. Corrosive upended, they're on their backs. And could Dantom Kia be taking advantage? Could Dantom Kia be no more fun and games with Dantom Kia? We're going to see the return of the ruthless machine that held the Ultimate Challenge Championship for 1,000 days. Wow. Corrosive able to self-right, and again getting another good flip onto Dantom Kia, and again another good strong flip. Corrosive Danton Kia riding up the top. Corrosive has had a much better maximum overdrive than Danton Kia has. Danton Kia, they've only won once, and that was a Mayhem qualifier, which they nearly lost anyway. And some would argue they were very lucky to beat Biohazard, actually. Corrosive flips up Danton Kia again. Danton Kia up against the wall, and look at that! How did Danton Kia survive? Corrosive on their backs now. Danton Kia trying to flip Corrosive out of the arena. Danton Kia trying to flip out Corrosive now. Danton Kia and Corrosive. Corrosive comes in for yet another flip. Corrosive now. I think Corrosive have just driven themselves into the CPZ. Although Corrosive... No, there's no way you can flip up Virus. Always loves having to go to House Robots, but throughout the chaos, is Danton Kia okay? Yes, they are okay. Crimson flips up Corrosive. Corrosive, will they rule out decision? Or trying to have a go at Virus. Corrosive upended on their backs. Danton Kia able to self-right. Corrosive now gets flipped out the arena. And Danton Kia has done it. Danton Kia has done it, and I would call that an upset. I thought Corrosive were going to win that match. Danton Kia, they've had such a bad track record throughout Maximum Overdrive, but at least they can say that they've beaten one of the fastest and quickest rising stars in Robot Wars Omega. Corrosive out the arena, out of touch, out of the Robot Wars galaxy. Cease. Danton Kia proves they've still got it in a great match. Corrosive 3, much too cocky, trying to go after the House Robots, and it ended up costing them the match. A good win for Danton Kia, but now let's go into our penultimate fight before the main event, and it is a #1 contenders match for the Undisputed Ultimate Challenge Championship. And I think it's about time that we let Speed and Diamond Storm go at it in a one-on-one war. The rivalry these two machines have had in Mash Draft's Robot Wars is well documented, and it is time they bring that war to Robot Wars Omega. And with a title opportunity on the line, this is a high-stakes grudge match. Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate. So Speed and Diamond Storm, this is a dream match. These two have fought many times in Mash Draft Robot Wars, but never in a Robot Wars Omega arena. Never before, and Speed already getting to having a strong start there. Diamond Storm flipped up and over. Speed gets flipped up and over as well. Diamond Storm flips Speed up and over. Speed, they're on the flipper of Diamond Storm. Diamond Storm comes in for a big flip there. Speed, though, comes in for a big flip down to Diamond Storm, and again another big flip. Diamond Storm in trouble. Speed, again, another machine that's been one of the fastest rising stars. You know, we've seen many good rising stars here. Corrosive, Speed, of course, New Blood Champions, Bubblegum Crisis as well, Demolition Evo, the sort of back on track Turbo 4 seems to be getting back in the right place too. And now Disc-O-Inferno as well. We'll see if Disc-O-Inferno can win the championship next battle. But Diamond Storm and Speed are going at it here. And like I said, the winner will get a shot at the Undisputed Ultimate Challenge Championships. At the next In Your House event. As you know, the title match will be the last title defense this series, and Speed comes in for a flip, and again another flip, and another flip. Diamond Storm, though, able to self-right. Speed, now on the flipper of Diamond Storm. Speed does a bit of a handstand there, but they manage to stay in. I thought for a second then Speed would have gone out then. Diamond Storm flips Speed across the arena floor. This is Diamond Storm's first singles match since the rebuild. Speed, they've had, you know, many singles matches before, many great matches. They've beaten 2 of the 4 pillars, well, actually 3 of them if you count the tag match with Roadkill 2. And well, Speed, if Roadkill 2 beats them, Disc-O-Inferno, they will be having another shot at Roadkill. But Diamond Storm now, Diamond Storm upended, they're in trouble. Diamond Storm trying to self-right. Speed now, Diamond Storm comes in for a big flip onto Speed. Speed now is in trouble. And this is such a back and forth match. This is an excellent battle. This is an excellent fight. One of the best fights of the series so far. Speed upended on their backs. Both these machines want this opportunity. But in the end, it's the slow self-righting of Speed compared to the fast, quick self-right of Diamond Storm. That cost them. And Diamond Storm, they get the better of Speed this time round. Cease. Diamond Storm beat Speed in one of the best matches of the series. The dream match, more than living up to expectations. Diamond Storm will be next in line for the Ultimate Challenge Championship. But who will they be facing when the opportunity comes? Will it be our current champions, Roadkill 2? who has held the championship since July, or will they drop the titles to Disc-O-Inferno? The winner of the 10 Robot Rumble, the Ferocious Spinner, is looking to take Roadkill 2 on a dance of death. Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate. So here we go, the championship is on the line, and what a match this is between, well, two machines. Roadkill, one of the most successful machines in Road Wars Omega, up against the true underdog here in Disc-O-Inferno. Disc-O-Inferno really are the underdog here, but Roadkill was trying to come with a good lift down to Disc-O-Inferno. Disc-O-Inferno able to get back in it though. Able to get back in it. Disc-O-Inferno trying to cause some damage to Roadkill. Roadkill gets a big hit in the side there, but Roadkill comes in for a good little lift up down to Disc-O-Inferno. Disc-O-Inferno, they've had a very up and down Maximum Overdrive. Lost in the tag team, but after winning that 10 Robot Rumble, will fortunes change? Will they win and go? Will they win? Will they book a place in the Champion of Champions next week as champion? Well, that's also sort of what's on the line here. Roadkill, they're already there, as we know. Disc-O-Inferno revving up that spinning weapon, but now Roadkill comes in for a big slam there. In onto Disc-O-Inferno. Disc-O-Inferno comes in for a good hit. Roadkill now trying to lift up Disc-O-Inferno. Disc-O-Inferno under the pulverizer. Disc-O-Inferno now trying to roll that blade up to speed again. This Roadkill 2 trying to push them into the CPZ. Disc-O-Inferno, they're under the pulverizer. What a great main event this is. What a great main event this is going to be. Roadkill now in underneath Disc-O-Inferno again, and a big slam into the arena wall. Careful! Oh! Big hit there by Disc-O-Inferno, and another big hit. Into Virus, not into the clutches though, just hitting Virus in the side. Roadkill trying to lift up Disc-O-Inferno again, but again, lowering that lifter so quickly, and now into Virus. Disc-O-Inferno upended, they've been suplexed, and now Roadkill comes in for another big hit. And again, they're coming for a big slam there. Disc-O-Inferno into Crimson flips Disc-O-Inferno across the arena. Roadkill. Oh, Disc-O-Inferno trying to get in a hit in the side there. And I think we're approaching the final minute of this match. Disc-O-Inferno comes in for another hit, and again, Disc-O-Inferno revving up that spinning weapon. Again, like I said, they want to rip off that lifter. They want to rip the lifting arm off. They want to rip it clean off. Disc-O-Inferno comes in, another big ram, does Roadkill, and another big slam. Under the pulverizers again. Bringing it down. Roadkill trying to lift up Disc-O-Inferno, and again, Disc-O-Inferno's being lifted up. Roadkill trying to lift up Disc-O-Inferno. Maybe, do they have him pinned? No, not pinned at all. Trying to come in for another good hit there onto Road. Does Disc-O-Inferno. Roadkill trying to lift up Disc-O-Inferno again. Trying to push him into Virus. Virus now Disc-O-Inferno. Roadkill trying to lift him up, and again into Virus's clutches. Disc-O-Inferno able to escape though. And now, unless if Roadkill gets a last minute out of the arena flip, it is going to go to the judges surely. I feel like we don't have long enough for an immobilization now. Virus lifting up Disc-O-Inferno. They're called to Virus though. They are called to Virus. They're able to just about escape, and comes in for another big hit and another big slam. And another big hit. Roadkill ending on the back foot. Virus. Oh, drunk Virus antics as always. It may be a new build, but you're still a drunk. Cease. But even then, what a battle this is. And well, what a showcase that was for both machines. But there can only be one winner. And the judges have made their decision. And I can tell you now, this was a very, very good battle. This was a brilliant, excellent battle. Both machines leaving everything in the arena. But the judges have still made a decision. And they've given it to Roadkill 2! Yes, Roadkill 2, they get the victory. They beat Disc-O-Inferno. And they retain the Undisputed Ultimate Challenge Championship. A huge win for Roadkill 2. Their third title run is looking to be their best yet. They win that title war with Disc-O-Inferno on a judge's decision, and they'll be leaving Maximum Overdrive 3 as the Undisputed Ultimate Challenge Champion. And well, that is a good way to end off the episode with a great title match. But that doesn't mean that the action is over. Far from it. As next week we will be going out with a bang, as it is the Champion of Champions tournament. Yes, 16 of the toughest champions in a one-night mega tournament. Roadkill will be there, along with Series Champions Wildcard, Tag Team Champions Diamond Storm and Cyanide, along with much, much more. I know you like the sound of that, so if you don't want to miss out, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll be seeing you all next week for one of the biggest and most prestigious tournaments in Robot Wars Omega history. Until then, TBB signing off.